This is the Tai Chi Paradigm for Parkinson's, and hopefully you had a good weekend and you've been following some of the videos. It's on YouTube. You can subscribe and follow it the best you can. Right now we're doing the Tai Chi Paradigm on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's going to be like that till we make a schedule change, but then before we make any schedule changes, we'll give you a heads up. But everything is still archived and you can still access it regardless. You can look at the numerous videos over the last 4 months that really all of them are somewhat different, even though we use the exercises consistently the same. But my goal is actually to get you to understand how to practice your walking, how to shift weight, how to go from vertical, turning the corner, and at the same time turn it into something that becomes more of a conscious behavior rather than subconscious behavior, and at the same time build some physical mobility or action in the upper body so you avoid some of the rigidity. So I think it's important to me to know that people that are doing this is getting some benefit, but if you're not doing it enough, then you're not going to get the same benefit. So you actually have to do this regularly. If not the whole program, you should do some of the exercises regularly just to stay in tune with it, because we're creatures of habit. If you don't do something over and over again, the tendency is to not learn it. And the other thing is, if you're not exposed to it and you don't see it and watch it enough, you don't get the same benefit because of the lack of interaction. So, it's just the nature of the beast. You have to do it in order to get something out of it, and it's really just time. If you put a little effort into it regularly, you can do any of these exercises daily. The deep breathing, the standing meditation, any of these exercises like this, all these things you can do. Just pick and choose ones that you want to do throughout the day or during the week. That way your body will always be somewhat awakened, and it's going to know to do these different things. And over time, just like brushing your teeth or whatever you do daily, it just will become a natural course. And when you develop, because it becomes a routine, you'll end up starting to miss it if you don't do it. So that's just a little bit of advice. Hands up, turning 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and stop. Hands here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay. Next, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Going up. I'll do one more time. If I do the mirror image, I would go to my left. You would go to your right. And if I go to my right, you will go to your left. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. I'm going to turn the other way. Facing this way, I'm going to do the waist rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, cross, knees, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. These are all calisthenic type exercises, and they're pretty simple to do, so it's the ones you can do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, rotating. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center, hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, feet together. Okay, let's pivot, square the feet, and back to center. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, shift your weight from side to side. So you have to let your body kind of shift and sway over so you can feel your hips moving. And once we get to one side and we pivot off the ball of the foot, we turn. Then we go forward and back. Forward and back. Turn. Switch. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, turn. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now we can actually just go forward and back, alternating the knees. That means straighten one and bend the other, relax, and sort of build that coordination. And we try to get when we go forward, try to keep the heel of this foot down, because if we lift it up, that's actually not what we're trying to do. We're trying to shift and shift like this to relax the ankles and get the hips and knees working together. And then we go back to center. Now let's do the other side. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and back to center. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, let's spread the feet a little. Okay, turning. Loosen up the back. So this exercise is simple enough to just turn your body, and we've been doing this, we did this a little earlier. So that helps you kind of loosen this up a little bit and get your body to twist, okay? Because it's important sometimes when we do this with the legs that we have to turn the torso a little bit. And that's when we do the leg swing or the forward and backward movement. Okay, let's stand here, shift the weight, and lift the knee. Okay, shift the weight, find the balance, and lift. And pull it back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and step. So if we saw a side view of that, what I'm doing is 1, 2, 3, 4. So always passing through center. So we're trying to work toward improving balance. Then this is one of the training techniques you could use to find your balance point, bring it back to center, and move. Okay, so those are lower body sort of skills that you develop, and it's going to help you step. So say, for instance, I step forward. Okay, put the hands down, and I move to here. Then move the shoulder width stance. And I move back. And I take a step forward, and I shift to here, Or I turn to the corner and I end up here. Or I turn back to center, I'm here. If I take a side step, moving sort of across the room like this, and we have this in cloud hands where we shift and shift, shift, and shift. So there's so many options that you could use to move from one position to the next just to get control of your center of mass. Because if you don't control your center of mass, you're not going to be very stable. And then the vertical position. When we're vertical like this, we want to not be tilted. Even when we go from side to side, we're not tilting the head. We're not tilting the head. Okay? Just like when we stand in this position, we're not leaning forward. So you don't want to lean forward because the body becomes top heavy. This is actually going to pull you down. So the best thing is to try to stay balanced and work within the realm of this vertical position. So then, vertical position, if you turn your body, then you're not going to be as tense as when you just stand like this. Because when you move, it allows for some flexibility, but also allows you not to be rigid in this position because we're moving. So we move when we do this. So this is just like walking. On one side, and we're training for some stability here on the supporting leg. Okay, let's try the other side. And center. Okay, now we'll go like this, hands opposite, and back to center. Reach, out, reach, in, out, in, out, in, reach, and in, reach, and in. Now we'll go the other way. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so that's really leg work. Now we're going to do some arm work, working with the shoulder roll. 1, 2. So this is good to try to loosen up the chest and the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and these muscles up in here that really get very tight from holding a position too long, or even if you're spending a lot of time, on the computer, you want to move your shoulders a little bit. If you can make the circles, you might have a little trouble in the beginning, but just gently move it. It's just shrugging your shoulders, trying to create a circular motion. If you look from the side view, your shoulders are going back, and you can see that I'm making a circle with my shoulder. Okay, good. Okay, arm swing. This is pretty easy. Press, release, exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Breathe through your nose. Don't stop. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists, so it's circular movements. Reverse. Okay. Palms down. Bigger circle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this all works upper body as well as staying balanced. 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, shake it out. Now we're going to do the silk wheeling exercise. So this is a continuity exercise. We do this all the time. It's building coordination and shifting of weight. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we go back to center. Start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're back here for 5, and we do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's go to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, hands up. Turning 1, 2, 3, 4, This is cloud hand movements. So we start off, it's just 2 circles. We do one at a time. And down. Okay, next we have this exercise called carry tiger to the mountain. Upper hoop, cross the forearms, and down. Upper hoop, cross the forearms, and down. Lift up, upper hoop, cross the forearms, and down. Then the infinity sign. So this is just hands going out, in, out, in, out, in, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, hands here, form the fist, and punch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next that's forming the fist. Roll the hands, move the elbows out, and relax the shoulders, and punch. Okay, let's bring the palms together. Strum the lute. So look at these hand positions and these postures. They're called hand postures. You have a hand position like this. You have a hand position like this. Thumbs up. That's a horizontal elbow. And we kind of flip the shoulders. Okay, we'll go to the other side. And center. Okay, now we bring the hands all the way up and turn to draw the bow. And then we spread the feet out a little bit like this, cross the hands, open, expand, bend the knees. So this is fan through the back. Okay, next, feet shoulder width. This is raising the hand. Just extreme lift sort of, but don't tighten the shoulders, relax the shoulders. Get up as high as you can. Get it up as high as you can. And down. Okay. Hands up, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so that does it for the exercises. If you can follow those great deals, those are archived on YouTube. So if you access it, just follow half of the exercises or do all of them. It's really up to you. You can do a few of them each day. You can sort of rotate them or do them, or just pick a few that you like to do every day and then do the whole routine maybe a couple of times a week if it's not too much for you to absorb. Okay, now let's pull the feet together like this. Shoulder width. So we're using the mirrors. So the mirrors are going to give you the visuals of hand positions. You're following me from behind, so you're going to just do the same side as I do from behind. And this is vertical to horizontal. So we see what we did there? Okay. Left side. Vertical, horizontal. Toe out. That's pivoting on the heel. Step up. Flip the hands. Switch to the right side. Horizontal. And then this completes that. All right? So we have left and right side beginning styles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Flip the hands. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that completes that. Now the next posture we have starts off of this and this. When we go forward, change the hands, go backwards, inside hand turns up and forward. So that's grasp the sparrow's tail. So we have the vertical. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2. 1, 2. Thumbs up, palms together. 3. Separate the palms, palms down, across to this hip, over to this side in front of the shoulder, and push forward. Then you hook your wrists. So that's vertical. You notice right in the center of my mass, and thumbs up right there, and the palms go together. Go to this shoulder, go to this hip, bring it across to this hip, to the front shoulder, which is this one, the right shoulder, hook your wrists, and then we're in a horse stance, like this, single whip. So single whip follows grasp the sparrow's tail. If we turn 45 to the corner, we end up in this corner, open. Now watch my feet, open. Hands, open. Hold the ball. Shift. Diagonal flying. shift. Move out, vertical, to horizontal, to shoulder width, to raise the hand. Bend, stalk, flaps, wings. Okay, so that whole series, that whole sequence is called the first section of the Tai Chi Paradigm, Tai Chi Form. So the Tai Chi Form is a series of these postures linked together to create a sequence. And that sequence is one of the things that you can practice once you've learned it. But the thing is, the benefit of doing these is getting the body to realize there's direction. It gets the brain to work harder at remembering sequences. It also builds some integration of body, and you use this sequence and these postures to just self-cultivate. Self-cultivation is trying to build muscle memory, balance, sort of the understanding of body movement and mechanics. That means when we move through space, the limbs, your skeleton, creates certain tasks. So one of the tasks that we try to prove, we're working with legs for balance and mobility, then it's walking, it's turning corners. When you're lifting or you're moving, or your functionality and upper body has to do with how we move our arms. And then our arms attached to this piece, our body, the torso. And it has different areas of the body that help you define the motion, but helps you create the actions that are required to do certain functionality, certain functional tasks. So moving your body, whether it's lifting or lifting and turning or stirring or even doing this with a churning of a motion, whether it's vertical like this or horizontal like this, they're all actions. And most of those things are circles, they're patterns. So if you learn these patterns over time, your body will start to get a little bit more aware of how to move, but then more about functionality and how we should be moving our body in a more relaxed way. Because tension is caused by a number of things, but stress is one of those. Anxiety, and also, some of it is muscular, and also, the brain is involved with that, with whatever the chemicals are lacking there. So, anyways, so we're in the shoulder width stance. We're here, preparation. So that's the beginning. That's really simple, just one big circle. Then we step up on the left side and find the vertical elbow. So the center line. Then we find the horizontal elbow. Now we're going to move the feet. So we move the feet and then we move the hands. So that could be done by flipping and then turning. Then we go forward. Now we move the legs. We move the hands. We move the legs. We move the hands. We move the legs. Move the hands as a forward and backward movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move the hands. Move the legs. Separate the hands. Move the hands. Move the legs. Move the hands. Move the legs. Shift the body. Move the hands. Bend from the waist. Stalk, flaps, wings. Even though there's no real footwork there, there is actually shifting of weight. And then we bend down, stalk, flaps, wing is here. Then the next thing we do is step up, go to a neutral position, and do brush knee on the right side push. So vertical, horizontal, up and down. So this goes down, right to left, and push. So the hands and the legs go together. Now we go to the left side, we go forward and turn out, and we step up, and we brush knee and push. So this is brush knee and push, meaning this front hand is brushing the knee, and you push. So if you didn't have the footwork and you had a little trouble with that, we can actually just go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that would be brush knee and push to the corners without the stance or without the stepping. So we turn 1, 2, right? So you hear brush knee and push. Now where hands are here, we could step up and brush knee and push. Put our hands together, adjust the feet, brush knee and push. Sit back, go forward and back, brush knee and push. Then we'll do one more. Go forward, step up, brush knee and push. Now we're going to neutral, and we can strum the lute. Notice how we turn to the right and left, step up and close the door. Palm out, form the fist, and punch. Then we go to the infinity sign and punch. Then we go to the cross arms and punch and push. Okay, shake it out. Okay, let's go to deep breathing. So a lot of the drills and warm-up movements actually support the form. The form is a little bit more difficult and challenging to remember, but it's good to at least be exposed to it so you know kind of what you're up against and what you want to do. But everything we're doing is a motor skill, and we're working with building sort of programs. The body has to do a certain amount of task, and what are they? So your brain kind of stores all that information that we've been doing, and hopefully from doing it over and over again on a conscious level, you can actually memorize it and then do the movements. So another thing we've been doing is a lot of mobility stuff where we walk and move. We have the circle. So this is clockwise, and this is counterclockwise. Clockwise, counterclockwise. So that's the two circles, and then we can walk. 1, 2, 3. Then we go backwards. 1, 2, 3. Then backwards, go forward. So we're going to go right, left, right. Left, right, left. Right, left, right. Right, left. Okay? So right, left, right, left, right, left. So right is the forward, left will go backwards. And then we try to coordinate that with hand movements going in this direction, forward, and this direction, backwards. Okay, so let's try that a few times. 1, 2, 3, down. Backwards, left. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. 1, 2, 3, down. So we have weight here, and this one's light. We step back. There's 1, 2, 3, down. So this foot is empty. It's like a suspended stance. 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, and pause. 1, 2, 3, and pause. So that's one thing we've been working on, and we start to define the directions. So actually I'm here by myself, so I don't know why I'm wearing a mask. So I'm going to take this off for a second, and I'll put it in my pocket. So I'll put this back on. I guess I was social distancing by myself. I was seeing myself in the mirror. I had to stay 6 feet away from myself. Anyways, so with that said, that's forward and backward. And forward and backward is something that we do to walk in a direction, regardless of what we're going for. Might be walking to the counter, walking through the living room, walking to the bathroom, walking to your car. It's always a forward motion. Backwards is a little bit, it's not always something that we need to do is go backwards, but going backwards just gives us a sense of getting back to a place. Because if you're practicing this, I suppose you could just turn around and then go that way, and we don't want to do that because we want to stay in a forward direction. So we're going 1, 2, 3, and then we go backwards 1, 2, 3. And the 3 is just to get us back to a starting position till we'll go forward again. So that'll give you, and it's pretty balanced, 3 forward, 3 backwards. Now, we mentioned when we turn, when our feet are like this in a V in the beginning, when we turn, we can turn like this when the feet are in a V. So this is important to know that this is your 90-degree position, and if I turn this way or turn this way, I have a freely pivoting foot on the side that opposite the direction I'm going into. So if I turn, leaving the planted foot, that's my right, that's my left. If I turn this way, you would see better. This is my right, this is my left. You're facing from the back. If I turn like this, I'm going in that direction. If I turn like this, I'm going in that direction. So that's from the V. Okay, the V, look at the V. See my feet. 0 options. I can't go forward, and I can't go to either direction because my feet are in this position. But if I want to go that way, I would turn. If I want to go that way, I would turn and spin off the back foot. Spin off the back foot. Okay, so try that to see if you can get that understanding where this is when the heels are together. When the feet are like this, it's different. You can't do that as efficiently. So this is specifically for this. For this. Okay, now let's square the feet. Now, same thing applies. When your feet are parallel, I have a little trouble going that way, but it's easy to go forward. Now you notice if I took that first step from a shoulder width stance, I don't keep my feet parallel and walk like this. So you see what happens there? Just imagine this. Try to understand why I have to shift. Because we have a center line that goes through the body into a point between the feet. Now, if I take my step leaving that center line there, I have to waddle between that center line, and that actually is not very efficient. So what you want to do, if your feet are like this, the first thing you want to do to get more on the center line is to walk closer to the line. It's more like walking on a narrow board rather than walking purely on that center line. So you leave a gap maybe 2 or 3 inches or even 2 inches. Then you can stay on either side of that center line, and that will give you a good direction to head in. Now, we have that center line, but we don't want to walk with our feet on the center line because it's not very stable. In fact, they make people take a sobriety test like that. It's hard enough to walk on the line, so if you're intoxicated or you've had a couple of drinks, your walking on that line is going to be much more challenging because you can't see that line unless you can feel that line. So what we're practicing is to find that line, but just stay to each side of it. So the base is a little bit wider than a single line. So that's when you walk forward. So when you walk forward, you always would be moving consistently like that. You're not actually trying to cross your feet like that. That's a little, that's actually not good for normal walking. It's good for walking on a tightrope, but that's about it. Now when we are in this position, then we can actually pivot on this to get the first part of the 45-degree line. So if we're like this, I can turn this 45 and then I can go to that. So what we did earlier was just do that. But when you break it down from here, we have to get this foot in position first and then spin. Now we're headed in that direction. So you would do a pivot and a step. So this is from here, goes that way. That's from the 90-degree position. When the feet are parallel, with that gap, maybe 2.5 inches, if I pivot this and then here, then it'll set me up to go in that direction. If we're here, I turn this wood and then this one, and we're back. Okay. So his first position is basic 45-45. What do I mean 45-45? This is 0, 45, 45. 45, 45 is 90. If I'm going in that direction, I have to shift and pivot on the ball of the foot, but turn. Follow the nose. Follow the nose. So that's that mechanism. When the feet are like this, then I have to get this one 45 and this one as the follow-up pivot. If I want to go to the other side, this one pivots, and then this one turns with it, and then you take your step off the toe side, because that's the side that has less weight. So I turn this, and this has less weight, so I'm going to move. If we're like this, 2 steps. 1, 2, then initiate. Okay, going the other way, 1, 2, and then I head in that direction. Okay, also, another way is, that's going to the 45 corners. But if I want to turn all the way to this side, I would take this foot and turn it 90 degrees, opening the hip, and then spin in this direction. The same applies on this side. Turn, and then turn, then you take the step to this side. So that's just setting up direction. You can go in increments of 45 degrees, mainly because that's easiest to measure. If you measure it all the way around here, it's just a 90-degree turn to this side, so you take your initial step. So I've been working with this a lot just to get you more familiar with how to pivot your feet, because pivoting your feet is like you're steering. It's like your tires. It's steering into a direction based on how you rotate your steering wheel. In this case, we just steer our body because our body has the ability to be somewhat mobile in space, so we find that direction by turning our body. So that's what's important. It is, anything we're talking about is developing control, feet, body, space, and controlling it by understanding how to create that directional movement. So that's going from the frontal direction to the corner, a frontal direction to the corner, a frontal direction to the corner. So I'm just turning 45 degrees. So, if I stood in this space, I could make numerous quarter turns or 45 degrees. You get, 8 different turns going to the corners. You got the front, the back, the right, and the left, and you have your corners. So there's 8 directions that you can actually turn toward. So by turning toward them, I'm going to my right, okay, I'm just turning 45 degrees, so that's all you would do. Now if I went the other way, I would be doing the same thing. Just making a 360 as a practice, but then if I go here, this is all clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn, step, turn. 1, 2, 3, turn. Now in this instant, we're stepping initially with the left foot after we pivot. Whereas when we're in this vertical position with the feet parallel, I take my step 1, 2, 3, left, right, left. So why, when we do this, I initiated on the right to go forward, but it's a little bit different mainly because where your body weight is going to be. This we consciously take the right foot forward and go backwards, left, right, left. This, we take the unweighted leg, which is this and this. So this into that direction is sort of like this. Because this is unweighted. So if I go like this and I'm here, now this is more like this, you see. So if we take that and I go like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're doing essentially the same movements without any stepping, but going through the body mechanics by using coordinated hands and the legs. So that's a bit of information on why these exercises that I have in the Tai Chi Paradigm would be beneficial and why you have to do it regularly. So on that note, hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe, and hopefully there's enough people watching to gain something from this. And give us a little feedback as to if these exercises are working for you, if these exercises are something that's new to you. Should I slow it down, focus on certain aspects of these strategies to help improve your balance, mobility, to remove some of the tension in the body, and focus on ones that you have a little trouble creating as patterns of movement, because without knowing what you would need for your own practice or what obstacles that you might have reached, then I'm just going to go through the motions and think what I think I should let you know. Whereas if I know what you want, it makes it a little easier for me to focus on something, at least get beyond that part so that you can move ahead. So on that note, subscribe. We have this thing called the Patreon that's on our website, and that's looking for a little bit of support for supporting the space and so forth, because the pandemic has really hit us pretty hard. I'm open for classes live, but the return hasn't been that many simply because of the uncertainty. But at the same time, we have to survive in order to keep this thing going and keeping things so we can move forward. So on that note, enjoy. It's really there for you to see again, so do that. Thanks for watching.